Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a really detailed story about four cousins, Julian, Dick, Anne, and George, plus George's dog, Timmy.
That's right. Their holiday plans get completely turned upside down. It starts with, well, family problems and ends up involving some pretty serious crime.
So our mission today is to look at how these kids used, sheer resourcefulness and maybe a bit of anger to turn a bad situation into something else entirely. A fight for justice, almost.
Yeah, and what's striking is how fast it all goes wrong. They arrive at Kirrin Cottage, excited about Kirrin Island. George is very possessive about her island, as you know.
Oh, absolutely. It's her island.
But right away, things get shaky. Two main things. First, George's mom, Aunt Fanny, gets suddenly really ill. That's a huge worry.
Definitely.
And second, there's this new household staff that's just awful, really antagonistic from the get-go.
Right. These aren't just slightly grumpy helpers. We're talking Mrs. Stick, the cook sour-faced, the text says, and her son Edgar, who sounds quite sly.
And their dog, Tinker.
Yeah.
Who George immediately nicknames Stinker.
Perfect George. That name kind of sets the tone, doesn't it, for the whole relationship?
It really does. And that animosity plays out instantly with the dogs. Timmy, George's loyal terrier, goes right for Stinker. It's like a mini preview of the human conflict brewing.
Good versus, well, not so good. Okay, so the tension's there. But the real crisis hits when Aunt Fanny gets worse.
Exactly. She's in terrible pain, rushed off to hospital. Then Uncle Quentin has to go too, leaving the children completely alone.
All they have is a quick note from him saying he'll call every day at 9 a.m. That absence, that's the key, isn't it? That's what lets the Sticks take over.
Precisely. It shifts from just unpleasant to actual tyranny pretty quickly. Mrs. Stick locks up the food, gives them these horrible stale sandwiches, no butter.
Ugh. Just asserting total control through basically near starvation.
It feels calculated, yeah, trying to break their spirit.
But the moment that really escalates things, the big turning point, is that 9 a.m. phone call the next day. Uncle Quentin calls, worried sick about his wife.
He's expecting an honest update, naturally, but Mrs. Stick answers.
And she lies. Flat out. Tells him everything is quite all right, kids are fine, no trouble at all.
That lie is everything. It cuts the children off completely, ensures they're stuck there under her thumb with no way to signal for help.
Okay, but hold on. Uncle Quentin, he knows George, he knows the island. Wouldn't he be a bit suspicious? Not insist on talking to Julian, maybe?
You'd think so, maybe. But the narrative suggests he's just so overwhelmed worrying about Aunt Fanny. He takes the easy answer, trusts the hired help.
Which is exactly what Mrs. Stick was banking on. His worry becomes their weapon.
Spun on. And things move from neglect to, well, potential violence almost immediately after that.
This is the bit with Timmy's food, right?
Yeah. They find his dish with raw meat in it, and they're pretty convinced it's poisoned. Rat poison, they suspect.
Wow. So it's not just about controlling the kids anymore. It's about getting rid of Timmy, their protector, their main ally.
And for George, that's unthinkable. Timmy is everything to her. That threat is what pushes her over the edge. She decides they have to escape to Kirrin Island.
Protecting Timmy becomes the absolute priority. They start feeding him from their own plates, just to be safe.
Constantly. And Julian, being the leader, immediately says, okay, if George is going, we're all going. It's not just about bad food now. It's about real danger.
So the escape plan, the midnight raid, as it were, their improvisation here is just fantastic.
It really is. First, the larder raid, quick grabs, meat pie, jam tarts, essentials.
Naturally.
But they need more for a proper stay on the island. And that's when George remembers Aunt Fanny's secret stash.
Ah, the snow-up cupboard. Genius bit of planning from Aunt Fanny.
Totally. Full of tin food, biscuits, milk, candles. Everything you'd need if you were cut off. They find the hidden key, load up wheelbarrows from the shed.
And sneak it all down to George's boat in the cove, all very cloak and dagger.
But the really smart part is how they cover their tracks. Julian's idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, the misdirection. They leave a train timetable out on the table and make it look like they've just packed up and gone home.
And they even walk across the moor, where Edgar can see them, heading towards the station. Before doubling back, of course.
Very clever. So Edgar reports they've gone for the train, and the Sticks presumably think they're rid of them.
Exactly. Buys them the time they need, they row out to the island, and, well, the adventure proper begins.
First thing on the island. Shelter. The castle's no good anymore. The roof's fallen in.
Bit of a blow, but necessity forces them to explore, and they find something much better, actually.
The cave. Described as beautiful, dry, sandy floor. Sounds perfect.
And crucially, it has that hole in the roof, sort of natural skylight. which
and
is
stuff.
full of children's things. A blanket with rabbits on it, little clothes, dolls, Josephine, Angela, Rosebud, Marigold, apparently, and a teddy bear.
Wow. Talk about unexpected. That completely changes the game, doesn't it? It's not smuggling.
No.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
well, it's deeply weird. Why hide a trunk of toys on a wreck? That question hangs in the air.
Until later that night, presumably.
Right. Julian and George are keeping watch on the wreck from the cliffs. They see a light flashing out at sea, signaling a ship, the Rumor.
The rumor. Okay.
Then they see someone row out from the shore. The Styx boat meet a figure from the ship near the wreck.
Huh.
An exchange happens.
On the scream.
Yeah. A horrible, high-pitched scream. Sounds like a little girl. Suddenly, it clicks.
It's Anne who puts it together, isn't it? The quiet one.
Yes. Anne connects the scream they just heard with the dolls and clothes in the trunk, and she realizes they're not dealing with smugglers.
They're dealing with kidnappers, holding a child.
It's a chilling realization.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this isn't just an adventure. It's incredibly serious and dangerous.
It really underscores that betrayal of innocence theme. And maybe the most sensitive to childhood vulnerability sees it first,
And she's right. Soon enough, Mr. and Mrs. Stick arrive on the island themselves.
bringing the kidnapped girl with them.
Yes. And also, confirming the kids' earlier suspicions. A load of stolen stuff from the cottage and Fanny's cushions. Silver.
Unbelievable. Where do they take everything?
Into the dungeons below the castle ruins, which are known for being deep, dark, and having these incredible echoes.
Ah, the echoes. Okay, I see where this might be going. The kids can't fight them physically?
No way. They're kids against dangerous adults, so they have to use the island itself. Their wits.
But enter the echo trap.
Exactly. Julian, Dick, and George sneak down into the dungeons, and they start using those amazing acoustics.
How? Just shouting.
They start by shouting, "Beware," over and over. The echoes make it sound like it's coming from everywhere.
That would be pretty creepy in the dark.
Then they get creative. They start making animal noises, cows mooing, sheep bleating, pigs, horses, apparently quite realistic ones.
Huh. So the Sticks think the dungeons are haunted by a spectral farmyard.
Pretty much. They completely freak out, retreat into one small room, totally convinced the place is haunted. Terrified.
While this is happening, Edgar rows out looking for his parents.
And manages to fall straight down that skylight hole into the children's cave. Lands right in front of them.
Couldn't make it up. Talk about timing.
Perfect timing. Julian sees his chance. They grab Edgar, detain him.
And Timmy plays guard dog.
Oh, yeah. Growling, looking fierce. Edgar's not going anywhere. They've taken their first prisoner, effectively.
So one down. Now they can focus on the girl.
Right. They find her, rescue her. She's terrified, obviously. Jennifer Mary Armstrong. She confirms she was kidnapped.
And then George has an idea for Edgar, doesn't she? A bit of payback.
You could say that. Poetic justice, maybe. They lock Edgar in the exact same dark dungeon room where Jennifer had been held.
Bolt the door and tell him what? Cows can't get at you.
Something like that. It's definitely driven by George's anger about Timmy, about everything the Sticks did. It's personal justice, mimicking the fear Jennifer felt.
Making him feel what it was like. Okay, so Jennifer's safe. Edgar's locked up. What's the end game?
They need to get Jennifer to the police. Julian, George, and Anne row her back to the mainland.
And they run into Uncle Quentin.
Yeah, him and a police inspector, right at the police station. Perfect timing again.
The inspector confirms Jennifer's identity. Daughter of a millionaire.
Yep, and that the rumor is known, and Jennifer identifies her former maid, Sarah Stick, as one of the kidnappers. It all clicks into place for the police.
The kid's story, which Uncle Quentin probably doubted, is suddenly very real.
Absolutely. But they still need to catch Mr. and Mrs. Stick with the evidence.
And Julian has one last trick up his sleeve.
He spots Mr. Stick lurking near the harbor, looking shifty. And Julian just casually mentions that Edgar is locked up in the dungeon back on the island.
Knowing Mrs. Stick will flip out about her precious Edgar.
Exactly. Her hypocrisy is the key. Despite being awful to Jennifer, she panics about her own son.
So she insists they rush back to the island immediately.
Straight into the trap. Julian guides the police boat over, and they catch the Sticks red-handed, pulling a sobbing Edgar out of the dungeon.
Game over. Sticks arrested, stolen goods recovered.
And the children are heroes. They survived being cut off, dodged poisoning, lived off tinned food, and took down a kidnapping ring. Pretty impressive.
It really is. They went from escaping a bad domestic situation straight into enforcing the law, essentially.
And you see how adult failures pushed them into it? Uncle Quentin's initial trust, the Sticks' outright betrayal. The kids had to step up. Fleeing wasn't just for fun. It felt necessary.
And their success came from channeling that anger and fear for Timmy at the sticks into clever tactics, the echoes locking up Edgar.
Right. And the reward. Jennifer gets permission from her parents to stay and spend the rest of the holiday with them on Kirrin Island. The escape becomes a victory celebration.
A nice ending, but it does leave you thinking.
Definitely. And maybe the final thought for you listening is about that moment they locked Edgar up. It wasn't just about capture. It was about consequence delivered personally.
Using fear to counter fear.
Exactly. So when kids face that kind of adult failure and hypocrisy, do they instinctively fall back on a more direct, maybe more primal sense of justice? That sort of eye for an eye logic?
Is that personal indignation, that feeling of being wronged, sometimes a faster, maybe even purer way to enforce what's right than relying on the official rules?
Something to ponder, perhaps? When is taking matters into your own hands, like they did, justified? It's a tricky one.